Hey business owner, long time no see. It was about the end of April when I posted my last video on YouTube, and in that time I have been coming off my antidepressants, been working on some big projects behind the scenes, including my social media and marketing course, and truly it just had a lot on my plate. As a business owner, I think it's really important for you to recognize when you've taken on a lot and to still try to find balance within your life. Whatever that looks like to you, balance doesn't necessarily need to be 50-50, but if you can strike even 70-30 to have some personal time for yourself, to take care of yourself, then I think that's a good thing to do. That being said, I am very excited to be posting regularly on YouTube again. I have missed you guys and I have missed creating this type of content. In today's YouTube video, we're not necessarily going to talk about burnout, but we're going to talk about implementing some automations within your business to help prevent burnout. I am going to break down 10 different things that you can automate within your business, as well as show you the tools and systems that I have in place for my own business, the services that I use, that I've been paying for years, and then I can actually give you a true, genuine recommendation for. So, if you are ready to save time within your business, automate the things that you're doing over and over again, and clear up some time so you can focus on brand new projects, then you're in the right place. Let's go. So to make this video easy, I've broken it into two sections. Section 1 are the types of automations that you can set up once. It might be time consuming to do it the one time, but once you have it set up, it can just play in over and over again and you can just forget about it. Maybe you go and tweak these files or the copy on these things once a year, but even then, once a year is so much better than every single time you need to use one of these tools. The other selection of automations that I'm going to be sharing with you today are the automations that you can kind of put in place a little bit ahead of time. So maybe once a week they need your attention for scheduling purposes, but once they're scheduled, they're saving you so much time throughout the week. So let's start with section 1, the things that you can set and forget. So number 1 is client invoicing and payment reminders. When I owned my first business, I was creating all my invoices and like a Microsoft Word, and then I was trying to send those off. I was chasing people down via email for payments, for retainers, for whatever it might be. It took up so much time. When I finally discovered HoneyBooks, and we're going to talk about, there's quite a few items on this list that HoneyBooks helps me automate within my business, but particularly for payments and invoicing, I love HoneyBooks because I can create a customer portal for each client, have all their invoicing in one place, and I can set up workflows that are based off dates within our contract and based within dates that I have put into the system, and it will push out those reminders for me. If somebody has a payment plan with me, so instead of just asking for, a payment up front for a retainer and then a payment at the end of the project, for something that costs a little bit more, like maybe a website, I can break down that large payment for my clients over a couple months, set up the automatic payment reminders, and I'm not chasing after them for their money, and they're able to pay me at a rate that's convenient and works for them. Truly, it's been a win-win within my business. The other thing it does is it sends payment reminders prior to the due date. So it lets them know that they have a payment coming up like a week ahead of time. It lets them know a day ahead. It lets them know on the day, and if they're past due, it will also follow up with them. Super easy, super convenient. Love HoneyBooks for my payment processing. So number 2 is email templates, which I also use within HoneyBooks. So when you sign up for HoneyBooks, it does come with a lot of preloaded and pre-written templates for you. So asking for client reviews, sending your client brochure, payment reminders, all of those are built within HoneyBooks, which I think is great. But of course, I believe in fantastic branding, so make sure that you go out of your way to rewrite these. Go in there, see the template itself, and then add lines in that feel true to who you are, your tone of voice, and your brand's tone of voice. I have gone in and not only tweaked the existing templates that are there, but I have created new templates for my business. Emails that I found that I was sending to people over and over again, instantly it clicked in my head that this should be a template within Honeybooks. Honeybooks connects to my Gmail account, so it actually sends emails directly from my email account from me. And then through the client portal, I have a place where it's tracking all of that back and forth correspondence with my clients. And I'm able to go back and let's say that we discussed a price or something like that. All of that archive is there. Number 3 is your contact form / customer brochure. So this is the final thing that Honeybook automates for me within my business, and it's a reason that it is so worthwhile to me. So in my first business, we always had a contact form on our website, but what that contact form did was just shoot an email off to me with all the information, and then the responsibility to respond to that email, come back to that client, provide them the information that they're looking for, all fell within my shoulders. I didn't think that was a big deal at first, but as things picked up, it became very time consuming to go and follow up with all of these. And in addition, it was taking me a while to get back to them. It wasn't really a great reflection of how I wanted to run my business or treat my future clients. So one thing that I really like about Honeybook is that I have created a custom brochure that breaks down all my packages, has all the information, all the frequently asked questions that I am usually given by my clients, and I'm able to automate that to get to the people that fill out my contact form on the website. So they'll go on my website, they'll poke through, they'll decide that they want to work with me, they'll fill out the form on my website, and automatically, within less than a minute, they get an email with my client brochure. This brochure breaks down all my packages, they're able to see my price points, and they're able to select the package that they want to discuss. And from there, they can book a discovery call with me, and we will discuss the details of the package and so on and so forth. But just that right there took care of responding to the client, sending them the information that they need, and pitching them to the next steps of the process without me ever getting involved. So yes, it took a little bit of time to create this really beautiful brochure and the right email templates and all that jazz. But once I had this all set up, the automation of it all has been so smooth and took me out of the picture. And then I only need to talk to potential clients when they get to the discovery call point. So they've already seen my prices. They know what they're getting into. They know that they want to work with me. It's pretty great. The fourth thing that you can automate within your business is how you intake your discovery calls. So I absolutely love a little tool called Calendly. Calendly is a calendar that you can set up and link to your Google Calendar or whatever your primary calendar is. You can set your availabilities throughout the week, and then you can create different types of events. So when I first started, the free version gives you one free event, I suppose is the best way to put it. So mine was always a discovery call. So I used that for a couple months. I really loved how the system worked. My clients were able to use the booking link within my link in bio or through my website. They were able to go on there, choose a date and time that works for them. So we're not going back and forth trying to find a time that works. They can automatically choose something for them. It books themselves in. But then recently I've upgraded to the paid version, and there's a couple reasons for this. The paid version gives you more event types. So essentially now I have one for discovery calls, but I also have one for my podcast guests. I have one for my current clients who want to book meetings with me. I have all sorts of different calendars now that the right people can book for the right type of meeting, which has been super helpful. And the other reason I have upgraded is the automations within the system. So now that I have the upgraded version, what it's doing for me is it's texting people before their meetings, it's sending them email confirmations when they book with me, it's keeping them in the loop, and I have noticed that this has closed the gap in how many people were missing their discovery calls with me. So it's helping save time with booking clients, but it's also helping to save time by making sure that the people that do book with me are serious about their bookings and keep their bookings. They can also really easily rebook if something comes up in their lives, because we all know that we're busy, especially since my clientele are busy business owners. So I really like that it's easy for them. Again, we're not going back and forth trying to find a time that works for them. There's a little button that they can click, they go back into my calendar, and they can find a new time that works for them. Super duper helpful. The fifth thing that you can automate within your business is your newsletter onboarding sequence. So there's a difference between the weekly newsletter you might send out and the newsletters you send out to a brand new person on your mailing list. So for me, my sequence, since I'm offering a freebie to try to get people to sign up for my newsletter, the first email you get when you sign up for my newsletter is the delivery of that freebie. But then I also have a couple more emails scheduled after that fact. So what it does is it puts them onto a workflow. They get that first email automatically, and then in maybe 3 days, 5 days, maybe a week, they get another email just introducing themselves to Deering Media, saying, hi, this is Ashley Deering, this is what I'm all about, thanks so much for subscribing, here's what you can expect, yada, yada, yada. Then have another email following up. Maybe you have a free offer, maybe you have a free coaching or something like that that you're offering coming up soon. So you can really set them up for success that way. And that's aside from, the newsletters that you might send with updates about your business. The sixth and last automation that you can set and forget is social media responses. And I guess when I'm saying this, I say specifically Facebook and Instagram. So through the Meta Business Suite, you can actually go on there and set up automated responses for your social media platforms. It might seem a little robotic, but the reason I like this is because you don't need to be on your social media platforms all the time to keep up with it. Especially if you've put in the effort to have a really well-detailed website that answers questions. Maybe you have a YouTube channel like me where you're always pumping out information. I want you to be able to lessen the amount that you need to put yourself into responding to questions and clients and things like that. So in order to do that, go into the Meta Business Suite and you can actually set up automated messages. So I have one on my Facebook page that when you land there, it thanks you for your message and it also gives you a link to my website, just so you can go and find some answers for yourself in the meantime. I'm a one-person show, I can't always respond right away, so I'm trying to make sure that I have something set in place. The other really nice thing about Facebook is you can preset questions. So whatever your top 3 questions are that you get, so what are your pricing, how do I work with you, yada yada yada, whatever it is, you can actually set those in there. So when you're being asked something like that, they can actually just click that button and it'll automatically give them the answer. Okay, so those are the automations that you can set and forget. But now there's some automations that you can do on more of a weekly basis. It's not necessarily going to save you the amount of time that those other automations are, but if you can find time to do these maybe just once a week, it'll save you a lot of time throughout the week, and you'll see why. So tip number 7 is social media scheduling. There are so many platforms to schedule your social media content. You can do it directly through Facebook, which is the Meta Business Suite. You can do it on third-party apps like Later, Planoly, Metricool. There's so many, I could go on for days. The whole point behind this though is that you can kind of set it and forget it on a weekly basis. So Sundays are my content creation days. I'll shoot my YouTube video, I'll shoot my reels, I'll create my graphics, I'll write my captions, and then I'll schedule as much of that as I possibly can. I know some things like reels we still can't schedule ahead of time, but I'll even do the extra step of just putting it into my drafts, putting in the caption, putting in the graphic, and just leaving it there as a draft. So maybe it's not scheduled and automated for me, but it is easier when it's time to post that piece of material. But things like your photos, your carousels, even stories to an extent. TikTok just shared their API with all these third-party scheduling apps, so you can actually go and schedule your TikToks ahead of time now. Take advantage of any social media scheduling tools that are available to you. Yes, you do need to pay for certain tools and for certain levels of things and stuff like that, but there are usually free beginner suites on like Later. Facebook's absolutely free to use, so there are some ways around that. But just carving out the hour or two that it'll take you on one day to do that instead of panicking and trying to throw something up last minute throughout the week. We're just so not here for that. We're working smarter, not harder this year. So please schedule whatever social media content that you can. Number 8 is schedule your blogs. So yes, kind of the same thing with social media. Yes, you still need to write the blog, find the right photos, optimize the H1s and the H2s and all that good stuff, but you can schedule these ahead of time. So even if you took maybe a day of the month and you were able to write 4 articles and you schedule those to go out every single Monday or something like that, that is still automation, because once you're done writing and putting in the effort, you can set it and forget it. Number 9 is YouTube and your podcast. Exact same thing. I know I sound like a broken record, but they're all different pieces of content. So social media is kind of your short form lived content. Your blog is kind of evergreen, long living content, and same with your podcast and YouTube channel. So even if you have one or the other, or you have both, make sure that you are pre-scheduling this content. Maybe you're a week or 2 ahead in your YouTube videos. It just takes so much pressure off of your shoulders to have that little bit of breathing room. And number 10 is your regular newsletter updates. So unlike your email sequence, which you're setting up for brand new people joining your email list, your actual newsletter is recapping the content that you had go out this week. It is bringing people in on new offers. It's sharing a journey, but you can write those ahead of time, just like your blog posts, and then schedule them to go out. So that way you're always showing up online, but you only put in the effort maybe once a week or once a month, as opposed to trying to come up with something every single day. So there you have it. Those are the 10 automations that I have implemented within my own business, some tools I have been using and paying for years that have helped keep me on track. And wow, I can't believe we just shared all that with you. If you are a busy entrepreneur and you are feeling the weight of trying to wear all these different hats and juggle all these different roles, hopefully some of these automations can help take some of that off of you and free up some time so you can focus on what really matters in your business, moving the needle. Thank you so much for being patient with my leave of absence. Thank you for tuning in and watching this whole video, and I will see you next Monday for more videos about entrepreneurship and social media marketing. I'm Ashley Deering of Deering Media, and thank you for tuning in. Bye.